Hello, everyone. I'm Rob McClendon, publisher of the Stillwater News Press. Thanks for joining us here on Ask the Expert. Now, today's episode is brought to us by the Stillwater Milling Company Agri-Center, located at 502 East 6 in Stillwater, where they've been proudly serving customers for more than 130 years. Well, with the temperatures beginning to warm, our focus today is on horticulture. And who better to have that conversation with than Laura Payne, the County Extension Horticulturist for Payne County. Well, welcome, Laura. It looks like you're out and about.
Yes, Rob, I was out and about and didn't make it back to the office in time. So I just pulled in the Lowe's parking lot and here I am.
It certainly works for us. Well, let's start big, and nothing contributes to the beauty of our homes more than the trees that surround it. And I know you have been getting questions about utility right-of-ways.
Right. And so, we all love our trees and we all want to plant trees everywhere in our landscape, but we really need to be mindful of where we're putting these trees. And under utility line, power lines is not the place for trees. So right now, CREC has hired a company to go out and clear some right of way for the new fiber optic line that's going in. And in doing so, they're having to seriously trim some trees, and in some cases, take out the trees. They understand that the homeowner probably didn't plant those trees there. 30 years ago, it was probably the birds that did it. However, these trees have now become a problem. And so they're having to clear them, which that's why I want to point out to people that when you're planting trees, be mindful of your utilities. There is a fact sheet that CREC has to give you the dimensions of what the right of way is, which it is 15 feet left to right of the center of the pole. So that doesn't mean you plant 15 feet from your pole. You need to take the mature size of whatever you're going to plant, divide that in half, and then add the 15 feet to that. Then that's the minimum space away from the power lines that you need to plant your trees.
Okay. Yeah, trees can surprise us over the years. They can get much bigger, can't they?
Oh, they grow so fast. Yeah, so faster and bigger than we realize when we plant them.
Well, it is that time of the year that people can't wait to get their hands in the soil. Let's talk about cool season crops. Is it too late to plant cool season crops?
It is not too late to plant cool season crops. In fact, especially if you're succession planting, which is when you plant a row of, let's say, carrots or radish or turnips, you go out and you harvest some of those. Well, go ahead and replant a few more so that you can continuously have a harvest of those cool season crops. Now, when the temperatures do start getting warmer, those cool season crops, some of the brassicas will start to bolt on you. And when they start to bolt, that's when they're going to flower, and then the fruit or the flavor of them becomes bitter, and you really don't want to eat that. So at that point, just compost them and then put that in your garden, maybe next year.
Everything has its season, and especially tomatoes. I know people are chafing at the bits to get them in, but what's your advice?
But we tell everybody, April 15th is our typical last frost or freeze date in Oklahoma. But Oklahoma weather, it doesn't listen to what we say. So just because we say April 15th does not mean plant April 15th. Watch your weather, be very diligent. If it looks good several weeks out or, a week out, go ahead and plant. But if it looks like the weather is going to get cold, then go out with something what we call wall of water, which is just this little contraption that holds water in it, and that holds in the heat. Or you can go out with a cloche, or just even cover them with a sheet or something like that to protect them from the frost.
Okay. Something that's readily available at the Agri-Center. Now, you do not have to have a large garden to garden. A lot of people enjoy gardening in container gardens.
Correct. And so what we're seeing is more and more people moving into either homes or apartments that have a small patio on the back. So on the patio, they've now come out with a lot of dwarf varieties of vegetables and fruits. So it's not that you can just plant a tomato, a dwarf tomato, or a dwarf pepper. You can now plant blueberries, and there's patio peaches. And so you can still have a variety in a very small space to garden in a container.
All right. Now you are an extension educator. So let's talk about education and the education that can happen in the garden with our children.
Okay, that's one of my favorite topics because I come from the Botanic Garden here at Oklahoma State University, and I love watching the kids out in the garden. They get so excited about everything in the garden, from the bugs to the plants to the birds. But the garden is an educational place where you can teach your kids colors. You can teach them how to count. You can teach them textures. You can have them write out your label for your carrots or your peas, or have them draw a picture of that. And it's also an opportunity for them to grow something that maybe they say they don't like, but if they grow it and then they try it, they just may like it. So you can just increase their palette of fruits and vegetables.
All right. Well, Laura, thank you for taking the time out of your day to visit with us. And we hope to make this a regular occurrence. Laura, thank you so much. And also thank the Agri Center located at 502 East 6 in Stillwater, who made all this possible. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you, Rob.
Bye-bye.